What's going on with y'all boys, man? It's Kymanijb back with another video, man. In today's video, we have the unfair matches of the Roman Colosseum. We're here with another Good Enough video. I'm surprised Good Enough came back fast. No cap. So that means Kymanijb has to come back even faster, okay? Here's the sub count. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. Let's get into the Good Enough video.
Let's start with the unfair and slowly work our way towards the most brutal matchups on the list. Number 10, blind fighters. And a Badia were criminals who would be forced to fight completely blind. They would be given a straight sword and a helmet for protection. Except the helmet was practically...
Okay, hold on. So how would the lobbies be though? Like, you know, like you sit in the lobby before the match and you just thinking like, God damn, I gotta go blind and I gotta stab somebody at the same time? Nah.
A curse, since it was completely sealed off, preventing the fighter from seeing or hearing anything. The fight would begin as soon as the fighters were placed within close range of one another, with the most popular strategy being the swing and pray method.
You literally have to swing them like these. Like, what the fuck? Are doing 360s and shit? Nah.
Which, in all honesty, was the only strategy available. Now, the good news is that judges weren't really needed for these fights, since the winners were very easy to identify, as they were the only contestants still breathing.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy part is that this spectacle was seen as comedic relief more than anything. And if you don't think two blind men fighting each other to the death is hilarious, well, you...
Okay. Now let me put myself in the consumer position, okay? I'm sitting there in a Colosseum and I'm seeing two blind niggas swing shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you got it.
You have a lot to learn about comedy.
I would enjoy it.
Now, this might not sound that unfair at first, since both men are equally blind and equipped with the same weapon. But think again, since the winner of the match would typically be rewarded with another match.
Impossible. Word to the bros, impossible. Because for you to come out alive in that first match and then have another one right after, you're dead for sure. I'm not gonna lie, you're dead for sure.
Then another one, and another one, and another one. You get the point. As you can imagine, a winning streak...
I'm not gonna lie, imagine being undefeated in that motherfucker. No. That's some points. Imagine being undefeated in this job.
Never really lasted for very long. Number 9, naval battles. There was nothing more epic than the naval battles of the Colosseum.
What?
Also, one of the most unfair, bloody, and expensive. The event would begin by filling the Colosseum with water in around a dozen ships. Wow. It's estimated that
on some battleship type shit.
Thousands of prisoners would participate in these events. But let's talk about...
Okay, hold on. That what you just said didn't make no sense. You said prisoners and then participated. That don't...
It's estimated that thousands of prisoners would participate in...
No, I think they got voluntold. I don't think they wanted to do this. They're prisoners, gang.
These events. But let's talk about what made these battles unfair. Now, depending on the starting position of your ship, it could determine your likelihood of survival.
Yeah.
Well, at least for a bit longer, as the odds of survival were almost non-existent to begin with. Ships that started in between two other ships would make for an easy target, easily creating a 1v2 scenario. Prisoners would invade other ships, killing everyone that stood in their way, while others would simply use the more popular strategy we see today, which is, of course, running away from all fights and sneaking their way to the final round, where they can hope to steal the win with a single kill.
Smart.
The bloody fight would come to an end when there was only one ship or team remaining. As terrible as these battles were, at least they were easy to clean up. The Romans would try their best to remove all the large debris from the water before the stadium would be flushed like a giant toilet bowl, sending all the remains downstream for another town to deal with. Number 8. Gladiator fights.
Yes.
Gladiator fights were
this separates the boys from the men, okay? Go ahead, continue.
Single most popular matches of the Colosseum, with the good matchups typically being saved for the main event. Now, how can two gladiators fighting each other be unfair, you might ask? Well, for starters, the emperors weren't really interested in fairness, as their primary concern was entertainment. And with over 20 different classes of gladiators to choose from, the styles would be mixed and matched based on entertainment alone. Here are some of the most unfair and popular matchups. Retiarius versus...
I'm not gonna lie, bro, and they had some drip on him. Chat, you telling me this is not drippy? Yo.
Secutor. Retiarius were equipped with a net, a trident, a dagger, and minimal armor, while the Secutor was equipped with a sword, a large shield, a helmet, and heavy armor. Go ahead, pick one.
Okay, hold on. Let me... Okay. Hold on. Actually, I like it better like this.
versus.
Okay. Which one am I choosing? Okay, I can really get dirty with the net and the spear. But he got all defense, bro. His legs is covered, his head, the most important part, is covered. His arm is covered, and he has a fat ass riot shield. Holy shit, no, this one just looks like I can get bitches after this jump. You feel me? I look bloody as fuck. I got the abs showing. This, I just look like I'm a bitch. I just look like, but let me put my ego aside, okay? And let me use the brain. I'm choosing Buddy. I'm choosing Secutor.
While the Secutor was equipped with a sword, a large shield, a helmet, and heavy armor. Go ahead, pick one.
I kind of already did that.
If you chose the Secutor,
I did.
Well, GG's, you're dead.
See, how? What do you mean? Bro, the nigga has a whole riot shield. He got armor from head to toe. How am I dying?
The Retiarius just had to keep his distance and poke at the Secutor. Or better yet, trap him by throwing his net on.
First of all, you're not trapping me with no net. This is not a Wild Wild West. You throwing shit and no.
Him, giving him enough time to emote before poking him to death.
That's not
all right,
fair.
Let's try another one. Murmillo versus.
Ooh, okay. So same, just like the Secutor, he got the fat ass riot shield with the armor from head to toe. Buddy got the helmet. He got the armor from head to toe. But he has this mini ass fucking. You can't block shit with this. All I had to do was this. Oh, got your ass. Right here. With the fat ass riot shield. It doesn't matter if you try to up down. No, I got you. It don't matter. I'm choosing Murmillo, bro. Murmillo for the win.
Thorax. Murmillo were armed with a large rectangular.
See, and why do you have to add good? Okay.
Shield, a short sword, a helmet, and a metal or leather sleeve for protection.
Okay.
While the Thorax was equipped with a light shield, a curved sword, a helmet, and a metal or leather sleeve for protection.
Facts.
Go ahead, pick one.
I'm choosing this one right here. Who y'all choose?
In Albion, no matter where you go or what you do, your mount will accompany you on your journey.
If you chose the Murmillo,
I won.
Rip, you're dead. As the Thorax just had to tire out the Murmillo since he was carrying the heavier shield.
Do you think I'm running after you? No. See, good enough got niggas fucked up, thinking that I'ma be on the attack when my whole everything is built for defense. You're gonna have to come to me. I'm so what the fuck? I know I have a fat ass riot shield, nigga. You can't hit me.
As you can see, stylistic matchups were a big deal and could easily influence the outcome of a fight.
No, it's fixed. It's fixed. Good enough you cheated.
This might come as a shock to some, but not all Gladiator fights were to the death.
Really?
A lot of fights would be called off when a fighter took heavy damage.
Really?
Since good Gladiators were very expensive to replace.
Okay.
Number 7, animal battles.
Oh,
Humans were not the only.
No. I'm not gonna lie. Not to be on my Michael Vick shit. You know what I'm saying? Not to be on my Michael Vick shit. But this would literally keep me entertained. Imagine they had animal fights on TNT, y'all. Imagine they had a fat-ass rhino versus an elephant on TNT. That is crazy.
Ones to have unfair matchups inside of the Colosseum, since animals were also treated like criminals.
Really?
They would be enslaved, pinned against each other,
Wow.
and humiliated.
No, you're
and were
right.
such a popular spectacle that at times, thousands of animals would be slaughtered in a given day, which was
Wow.
completely unsustainable, driving many animals to extinction. Here are some of the most popular and unfair matchups that were commonly seen in the Colosseum.
Talk to me.
Elephant versus rhino.
Okay,
One of the
that's
most
just it.
famous Colosseum battles was when an enraged rhino was pinned against an elephant, with the elephant eventually winning when he decided to cheat by grabbing a spear with its trunk and gouging the rhino's eyes out. Lion versus tiger.
Ooh, imagine they had that on ESPN, nigga. Who's not tuning in, y'all? If they had that matchup on ESPN, y'all are tuning in. Stop it. Stop
This
it.
matchup is basically a robbery, as I'm sure the locals would have bet large amounts of money against the guys from out of town, since they knew that the lion always wins, with there only being one recorded incident of a tiger getting the best of a lion. Elephant versus bull. As you can imagine, when an animal has over 10,000 pounds on its opponent, it's not really going to be much of a fight, is it?
Right.
But just to make matters worse, sometimes the elephant and the bull would be chained together, forcing
So close quarters, nigga. Oh my God. Do y'all know that Do y'all know that fucking that boxing little practice they be doing? They put the 1 foot in the tire. Both opponents put 1 foot in the tire, and you can't go nowhere. You can't put your foot out that tire. You have to keep close quarter shit. That is this. Holy shit.
Seeing the action, and no matter how the fight begins, it would always end with the bull being turned to soup. Really quickly, here are some of the other animal fights that were very popular. Rhino versus bear. Rhino versus
nigga, the bear? Oh my god. I'm not, again, not to be on my Michael Vick shit. Not to be on my Michael Vick shit.
buffalo.
Word.
Rhino versus elephant. Crocodile versus hippo. Tiger versus bear.
And I'm not gonna lie, we saw hippo versus alligator. But the alligator, it was unfair because it was like 50 hippos and 1 alligator, and the alligator still came out free. So
bear versus bull. Bear versus wolves. Goro versus scorpion. Lion versus bull. Lion versus bear. Lion versus panther. Lion versus chimp. Lion versus hyenas.
Right,
lion versus basically any animal the Romans can get a
fair.
hold of. Number 6. 1 versus 2. This matchup can be unfair for either side depending on...
2v1? Nah, sign me out. Hey, I broke my leg that day. You're good. You think be honest, chat. If I broke my leg, do you think they still send me out there? Still have me competing?
on the circumstances. Let me explain. There are 2 scenarios in which this matchup can take shape. 1. A high-level gladiator will take on 2 prisoners simultaneously.
Wow.
And as the prisoners try their best to figure out how to properly hold a sword, they will realize that it's very difficult to do so, since their hands are no longer attached.
Right. Oh my.
DMV, did you know
Wait.
UMGC tuition is low cost and you
Hold on,
pay
who is
$0
this?
for digital materials
Oh,
in
really?
those courses?
Really?
Plus, right now, the application...
Now, the second scenario is a bit more fair. 3 well-trained gladiators were placed inside of the Colosseum. One gladiator would be given heavy armor and a good weapon, while his 2 opponents would receive minimal armor and worse weapons. The duo would need to work together to defeat the better...
They gave this nigga Wolverine claws. He's done. Oh my god. If you are not Logan himself and they give you Wolverine claws, you're done.
equipped man. But being partnered up is not as easy as you might think, and does come with its own set of challenges. Like knowing whether you should go for the res or attempt to clutch up when your partner inevitably goes down. The last and final way that a gladiator can be outnumbered is during large-scale battles. This one is of course purely based on luck alone, and doesn't always mean that you will see a 1v2 matchup, as it just might be a 1v6 depending on how bad your team is.
Wow.
Number 5. Woman versus dwarf.
What?
Emperor Domitian introduced the legendary matchup woman versus dwarf. And I have to admit,
No, these niggas beat, man, why you be trying to entertain the masses that much? A dwarf versus a bitch, are you kidding me?
this is the only battle on the list where a clear winner was not well documented. But even with the little information we do have, I have a gut feeling that it just wasn't a fair matchup. I'm just not certain for whom. You see, on one hand, you have a fully grown woman who obviously has the reach advantage. While on the other hand, you have a male dwarf who is much stronger and obviously uses magic.
Wow.
How much stronger? Well, I'm not sure. I did, however, stumble upon this forum where a guy asked the same question back in 2011. Now, sadly, people just replied back with even more interesting questions that we will never get the answers to. And of course,
nah, nigga like me, you got me fucked. You think a dwarf not being a Labrador? You got me fucked up.
naturally, the entire forum devolved into guys just bragging about how many dwarves they can take on at once. One of the most bizarre things about this matchup was that Emperor Domitian liked to schedule this fight at night, since he preferred this battle when it was illuminated by torchlights. In 2010, a female gladiator's remains were found in England. After they were examined, it was concluded that the woman's legs and arm bones were unusually heavy, suggesting that she had strong muscles. You know, I was originally leaning towards the dwarf, but now I really don't see how they could possibly win. Number 4. Wild animal hunts. Perhaps one of the most unique spectacles.
Bro, imagine you a prisoner, right? In the Colosseum days. And there's like a little board, right? So you got your name and then what fight you gonna be doing. Imagine you see your name and then next to that is animal fights. You gotta go up against a fucking lion. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Of the Colosseum was the wild animal hunts. Here, the entire Colosseum arena was made to resemble the animal's natural environment. A few men were then brought out to the arena equipped with small shields and weapons. Then for the next few minutes or hours, the arena would be slowly filled with terrifying predators. But if they really wanted to get the crowd on their feet, all the animals would be released at once.
They got fucking ET in this bitch. What the hell is this? Nah, you're not even safe. Like, let's be honest, bro. These trees aren't there because obviously I'm climbing on the trees, okay? But there's no winning. You're losing.
Sometimes the men who were fighting the lions, bears, and panthers would have been well-trained fighters, while other times they would have been condemned criminals who were just given the death sentence and stood 0 to no chance of winning. Here are some of the animals you could have expected to make an appearance. Lions, tigers, bears, elephants, rhinos, panthers, leopards, hyenas, wolves, boars, bulls, deers, ostriches, crocodiles, giraffes, camels, and ship rats. Of course, ship rats were not...
Camels, god damn. Camels, I'm not really worried about camels. And rats, I don't give a fuck about rats. A giraffe, that shit gonna be a little hard. Because they be swinging their necks. They be swinging they motherfuckers. Everything else is death, by the way.
Not invited, but they showed up anyways. Number 3. Man vs. Beast. Man vs. Beast matches were one-on-one battles and were the second most popular spectacle, only behind gladiator fights. Now, there were basically 2 ways that this matchup would be arranged, with both of them tailored for maximum entertainment for the crowd. The first one was when a professional slave or volunteer fighter known as a bestiarius would face off with a terrifying beast.
What is a beast?
The animal could be anything from a lion, leopard, tiger, bear, or any other large and powerful creature. These battles would typically end with the animal being defeated. Even if the bestiarius took heavy damage. On the other hand, the second matchup was much more bloody and typically ended with the man being torn to pieces. Here, a criminal or prisoner of war would be forced to face off with the animal. With little to no training, it was only a matter of time before the man would become an anatomy lesson. And it definitely didn't help that the animals were starved for long periods of time before they were brought out.
That's so fucking smart. Oh my god, why was I not thinking of that? So they're not even looking at you as a something like that's about to harm them. They need you to eat. So either way, they're on 10. Oh my gosh.
Making them a lot more angry and aggressive. There was even a single lion that took out over 200 men before it was finally defeated, which is obviously a padded record, since it clearly fought nothing but tomato cans. Oh, I should also mention there is another event that was very popular and is somewhat related, where a criminal was tied to a stake and then a wild animal would be released to eat him alive. You know, you would think that this would be one of those situations where if you've seen it once, then you've seen them all type of deal. But apparently some emperors love to show this one quite often. Number 2. Prisoner versus professional gladiator. Easily one of the most unfair matchups of the Colosseum was when prisoners would face off against a professional and seasoned gladiator. The professional gladiator could have been a slave himself with many fights under his belt, or a volunteer gladiator that was part of one of the many gladiatorial schools. Either way, the criminal with 0 to no experience was basically sentenced to death. You see, what could be worse than being invaded, enslaved, and kept inside of a cell for days, just to be given a weapon you have never used, then pushed to the center of the Colosseum floor, only for Spartacus to make his walkout shortly after you. Number 1.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather see fucking Spartan himself than a fucking lion. I'll be damned. Holy shit.
Rigged fights. What could be more unfair than rigged matches? Emperor Commodus was definitely the worst offender when it came to rigged matches. The emperor ruled Rome from 180 to 192 AD and was even portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix in the 2000 film Gladiator. Commodus was obsessed with becoming a famous and well-respected gladiator, so much so that he would even compete himself. Well, if you could even call it that. An emperor fighting as a gladiator was unheard of. Now, of course, Commodus had the best training in all of Rome and was actually very talented with the sword. But that wouldn't stop him from rigging fights by secretly injuring men just moments before they were brought out to face him. His opponents were injured in a way that could be concealed under their armor, but be devastating enough to hinder their performance or make a limb unusable. Another strategy that the emperor would use was simply fighting men with 0 to no experience, making for another easy W. Emperor Commodus would have the longest undefeated record as a gladiator, and it's suspected that he competed hundreds of times. He would also charge the Roman treasury around 25,000 pieces of silver every time he competed. There are many things you could call Emperor Commodus, but one thing you can't say is that he ever discriminated.
What does that mean? Since
animals were also injured and thrown in to face him. Apparently he killed killed hundreds of lions,
Yo.
ostriches, some giraffes, and on one occasion even killed 3 elephants that were just laying on the floor.
Oh, you's a bitch.
Now, as horrible as this all sounds, this was all just a warm-up. And in November of 192 AD, he held the Polybian Games, a festival that lasted around 2 weeks. There, Commodus shot hundreds of animals with arrows and javelins every single day.
Wow.
But if it makes you feel any better, 1 month after the Polybian Games, Commodus would be strangled to death inside of his bathtub by a professional wrestler named Narcissus. Which, for a
That's the actual name.
man, that has to be the most embarrassing way to be found dead. Completely naked inside of a cold tub. You can't even explain your way out of that one.
No, for real. You literally can't. Holy shit. Another good enough video that just completely shocked my fucking brain. Oh my goodness. Okay, for the comments, what fight would you want to be a part of? Again, you have to choose one. You have to choose one. Whether it's the 2-on-1, whether it's you versus the beast, or whether it's you versus the Spartan nigga. You gotta choose something. Me personally, what am I choosing? Gosh, no, what am I choosing? No, hold on. Let me go back. Okay, oh my God, blind fighters, fuck. Naval battles, gladiator fights, animal battles. 2v1's obviously out of the picture. Okay, I'm doing blind fights. I know it sounds stupid, chat. I'm doing blind fights, bro. All right, y'all boys, I'ma see y'all in the next video. Hopefully, y'all fucked with the good enough video. I'ma see y'all in the next one, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, man. We almost at 500, man. I'ma see y'all in the next one. Peace, man.
Young nigga been rich as shit. Look at my drip, mix and match all the designer. I'm really popping my shit. I'm finna blow like a bomb, and I set the time. Shawty be geeking for dick. Hit from the back, fuck her up when she need a reminder. Always gonna keep me a stick. Niggas be quick to switch up, they gon' fall like a binder. And I'm getting high, give a fuck what you thinking. Lines of the purple when we got the drinking. Move like a saint, but you can't call me Franklin. Racks in the box, I can't fuck with the banking. In love with the Balenci track. Shawty a eater, she want my attention, but you gotta pay to get that.